Hello, my name is Caitlin Armstrong. I'm staff therapist at Access Counseling Services, currently serving as the mental health coordinator at Monroe Local Schools. Today I'll be giving you a short presentation on disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, also known as DMDD. This will include education on DMDD, as well as signs and symptoms to look for within the school and interventions to help manage behaviors associated with DMDD. First, let's talk about what is DMDD. DMDD stands for Disruptive Mood Dysregulation Disorder. DMDD is a childhood condition that's characterized by severe anger, irritability, and frequent temper outbursts. It presents as chronic irritability and persistent behavioral outbursts. While temper tantrums tend to be quite common in kids, DMDD is more than just a normal childhood moodiness and tends to be inconsistent with a child's developmental level. Angry outbursts that you'll see with DMDD are extreme, intense, and can lead to significant disruption in many areas of a child's life. These outbursts can manifest as either physical or verbal behaviors, and you might see them in and outside of the classroom. It's important to know what indicators to look for within the school setting. So some things that you might notice is going to be consistent negative comments and irritable behaviors. These are going to be present many days, most days out of the week, and will be observable by peers and staff. You might also notice children getting into heated fights with peers, either verbal or physical, exhibiting many angry outbursts and rage, might bully others, can be difficult to reason with, may engage in dating violence, makes verbal threats, cruel to animals or younger children, excessive and loud fighting, destroying property, symptoms of depression or self-harming acts, conducting physical violence towards others, negative self-image, and frequent negative comments. DMDD can be connected to social and emotional learning in quite a few different areas. First, looking at self-awareness. Many times these kids have trouble identifying and understanding their emotions. They have a lot of difficulty recognizing their strengths and they lack self-confidence. Self-management. Many times these children have difficulty regulating their emotions and behaviors, and that's why we're seeing these outbursts. They're going to need some help with self-management and self-discipline. Responsible decision making. Difficulty making positive choices and taking responsibility for negative outcomes. They're going to need help identifying problems and analyzing situations in order to solve them effectively. Social awareness. These children need education on empathy and learning to respect others even when they're experiencing heightened emotions. And relationship skills. They struggle with the ability to establish and maintain healthy and meaningful relationships with others. They'll need education on communicating clearly, cooperating, listening, resolving conflict, and supporting one another. Over the next few slides, I'll talk more specifically about school-aged interventions that you can implement within the classroom to best support kiddos struggling with DMDD. But let's talk about some overall skills that you can use to help support your kiddos in the classroom. First, educating yourself about DMDD so you can be more empathetic and understanding. Strive to be patient, especially when symptoms are escalating. Pay close attention to triggers for outbursts as well as patterns in mood and behaviors. This allows you to recognize early warning signs and redirect and prevent the triggering situation or help handle it more effectively. These are going to be skills that these kiddos are working on developing on their own, and that reinforcement from their teachers is going to be especially helpful. Assist your student as he or she learns to self-regulate intense emotions. Don't assume that they can handle these emotions on their own, even though you know that they're working on them outside of the classroom. Help your student find healthy, enjoyable ways to cope, relax, and manage stress. Be a role model by showing them that you can manage your stress in healthy ways as well. Pay attention to negative self-statements. Oftentimes you'll hear these kiddos making negative statements, often stating that they are stupid, etc. Help them to replace those negative thoughts with healthier self-talk. Provide structure, routine, and consistency within the school setting. Focus on giving attention and praise to positive behaviors when you're noticing them, instead of always criticizing or pointing out the negative behaviors. Make sure you're setting firm, clear rules and boundaries, and provide consequences for inappropriate behaviors that are consistent and predictable so that our students know what to expect. Keep stress levels and overstimulation to a minimum. Be willing and available to listen. Do your best to remain calm no matter how frustrated or overwhelmed you feel, and promote overall school connectedness. Over the next 2 slides, we will look at interventions that are aimed for elementary-aged kiddos struggling with DMDD. This first intervention is helpful with setting clear expectations and boundaries in the classroom. It's discussing the rules of anger. The idea of this intervention is to validate your kiddos' feelings and let them know that it's okay to feel angry. But when you're angry, it's not okay to hurt others, to hurt yourself, or to hurt property. This is a good introduction for how to talk about coping skills. When you're feeling like you want to hurt others, hurt yourself, or hurt property, what are some other things that we can do instead? This intervention is best implemented alongside of the rules of anger. Once we set those expectations in the classroom and our kiddos understand that it's not okay to have these angry outbursts, to hurt others, to hurt themselves, or to hurt property, we want to provide them with alternative coping skills so that they can self-regulate and manage their emotions effectively. This could include a calm down corner within the classroom or a sensory walk outside of the room. It's always helpful to have a list of coping skills handy so that the students don't need to use their critical thinking skills when they are experiencing these heightened emotions. This might look like having a book of coping skills that they can flip through, open to a random page, and implement that coping skill. Pick from a list on the wall that they have to look at, or reach into a classroom jar and pick out whatever coping skill they come to first. Over the next 2 slides, we will talk about interventions that are targeted for middle school age children who are struggling with DMDD. This intervention includes a worksheet that helps to identify triggers. Utilizing this worksheet, you can assess for triggers that might be present and help students to identify when they need to begin utilizing coping skills. Sometimes triggers are avoidable. If we can help our kiddos to identify these triggers, we can help them to understand what triggers they can avoid and what triggers they cannot. While we can't avoid all triggers, we can be prepared with coping skills when we know that we're going to be exposed to a trigger that we're not able to avoid. And then we can self-regulate and avoid an explosion. This intervention includes an anger coping skills fortune teller. This coping skills fortune teller can be helpful once a student has already identified their triggers. They can utilize this to have coping skills handy. And on the right, I've included a link that you can follow to show you how to create your own coping skills fortune teller. And that way students can write in the interventions or the coping skills that they think work best for them. Or I've also downloaded the PDF and included that link on the right as well to use this format that's right in front of you. This is an easy way for kiddos to have coping skills right in their pocket, be able to get this out and find a coping skill that works best once they're feeling triggered. Over the next 2 slides, we will be discussing high school aged interventions for kiddos struggling with DMDD. This intervention includes anger management education and exercises. By using journal prompts, you can promote self-reflection. This allows room for teens to explore how their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors impact each other. They can achieve more education on anger. For example, on the left-hand side, there is an example of the difference between irritation, anger, and rage, and how all of these are connected. The 2 exercises below focus on times when we reacted out of anger and how this played out. This can allow our teens to really focus on how their anger impacts their life and how this could even impact their future moving forward. Negative self-talk is extremely prevalent in children struggling with DMDD, and self-esteem is a difficulty for many teens all around. By promoting positive self-esteem and positive self-talk, we can help to increase positive self-image. We can do this in many ways in the classroom by promoting positive affirmations, perhaps designating a day throughout the week where each member of the class has to give a positive affirmation to somebody else. Promoting grace and growth, looking at oneself and forgiving ourselves for our mistakes, and looking at how we can change to do better the next time. Challenging negative core beliefs. When we have students who are coming to us and saying, I'm stupid or I can't do this, we really need to challenge those thoughts and show them that that's their negative self-talk talking, and they don't have to listen to it. Promoting a positive word of the week or positive word of the day. And even a self-appreciation chart within the classroom where students have to list things that they appreciate about themselves, one every week. Promoting positive self-esteem and positive self-talk, we can help challenge these negative thoughts that these kiddos are saying to themselves. And it helps promote overall school connectedness and helping these kids know that they are cared about and they are loved and they are worthy of love. Thank you for listening to this short presentation on DMDD. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach me at karmstrong@acscounseling.com or at 513-649-8008, extension 022. Thank you.